Morning, everybody. Grab my coffee. All right, happy Friday. We made it through another week. All right. Yes. The team is here. Okay, so today we're going to be working on crow, also known as crane pose. This is an arm balance, requires shoulder strength, lots of core strength, hip mobility, and you might be listening to me rattle off those things and go, I don't have any of that. That's okay. The main point of this class is not to get into crane or crow. The main point of this class is to do all of the strength and mobility work that you need to get into it, because that's the stuff that's really super useful and practical to your everyday life. We will still play around with the posture itself, and we'll just see what happens. So anyway, that's where we're going today. Got your mat set up, get your music going, put the lights where you want them, and let's get ready to roll. All right. So find your comfortable seated position. This is where we start every time, and we're starting here again today. Whatever it's looking like for you today, if you need a little extra help for your hips, just roll up your mat or roll up a towel or something so that it lifts you up just a little extra, maybe even a big book to sit on, just to get your hips elevated a tiny bit. That makes it a little more comfortable if you're just feeling sort of tight today. All right, when you're ready, settle in, close your eyes, and all you gotta do is breathe. Focusing on those deep breaths in and out through your nose. Just paying attention to what is moving as you breathe. We're going to get ourselves a little more space for those deep breaths. Inhale and reach your arms up. Lift your ribs away from your hips. Get tall. Stay tall. Exhale, hands back into your lap. Another deep breath in. Reach up, lift up, get tall. And exhale. Slowing down those inhales, feel everything expand. And go ahead and open your eyes. Let's move those deep breaths around a little bit. Take a deep breath in, reach up, lift up, get tall. Exhale and bow forward. Reaching your hands forward along the floor. You can release the muscles in your neck and let your head hang if that feels okay. Focus on breathing across your back, letting your back widen with every breath. Inhale up, reach up, lift up, get tall. Exhale and twist. Breathing right into the center of your body, feel your abdomen expand. Inhale up. Exhale, twist the other way. Inhale up, reach up, lift up, get tall. Exhale, up, out, and over to one side. Top shoulder rolls back, top arm reaches over, taking those deep breaths right into your rib cage. Let it expand. Keep reaching, keep breathing. Rolling that shoulder down towards the floor. Feel that start to move into your back and let your breath follow. Inhale up. Exhale, other side. Ooh, top shoulder rolls back, top arm reaches over. Big reach, arching your rib cage up a little bit. Nice deep breaths. Keep reaching, keep breathing. Rolling that shoulder down towards the floor. Ooh, yeah. Feel that stretch move into your back. Let your breath follow it. Inhale up, reach up, lift up, get tall. Exhale, reach forward and round back. Separating your shoulder blades, tuck your chin. Inhale, open up, breathe right into your chest. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Inhale, arms reach up. Lift up, get tall. And exhale. Hands back in your lap. Close your eyes. Take a couple nice deep breaths in and let everything expand at the same time. just going to take a moment right here at the very beginning of class to tell you that I appreciate you. I love that you're here. Come on up to all fours. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Go fingertips first, then that first big set of knuckles, then your palms. Find that balance. If your hip or your wrists are feeling a little tender today, go ahead and move them forward. It's fine, just soften that angle a little bit or balance yourself up on your knuckles. All right. Core strength is a big part of crow/crane. So we're going to start with our extreme exhale. We're going to get that core turned on big time. So if you already know what you're doing, go ahead and get started. We're all working at our own pace on this one, so go ahead and get started. If you're not sure, don't worry, I'll talk you through it. Starts out with a forceful exhale, and you'll feel that engage these abdominal muscles. But then instead of breathing in, once you start to feel like you're empty, just keep pushing. Keep pushing out those last little shreds of air, just working that abdominal muscle, that transverse abdominis. Pushing, 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 pushing until you can't push anymore, and then just relax. And you'll find yourself taking a giant deep breath in, almost without any work. Just keep that going at your own pace. Everyone do one more. And when you're done, you can sit back. Let's take a little wrist break. So I said before with the transverse abdominis, it's your deepest abdominal muscle, and its job is to support your spine. And the way it does that is when you're doing that exhale, the whole thing is coming in and compressing all of your internal organs and your whole internal structure. It's compressing it, squeezing it around your spine to give your spine this extra support. Your transverse abdominis is like your internal weightlifting belt. So you cinch that on with a nice strong exhale before you go to lift anything heavy, and it's like you've just cranked down a weightlifting belt to help support your spine. But this one's inside. It's always with you. Anyway, just an extra little tidbit of information. Let's come on back up to all fours, and we're going to get into those shoulders. So use those nice strong abs to keep your spine neutral, keep your hips neutral. We're going to start with protract and retract. So elbows stay locked out, push the floor away and separate your shoulder blades without flexing your spine. Keep it neutral, and then retract, squeezing them together. Don't flex your hips though, keep it neutral. Protract and retract, going at your own pace, just getting as deeply into these two postures as you feel like you can. And we usually focus on the retract part of this. Today we're going to focus on the protract. So really push the floor away. Separate those shoulder blades as much as you can, but really watch out, because you're going to get to a place where you can't really open those shoulders up anymore, And you're gonna really wanna flex your spine. So stay neutral. Really focus on that. Get that good squeeze in the middle and then push the floor away. A couple more times. And then come back to center and let's do elevate and depress. Sliding those shoulder blades up and down your rib cage. All right, come back to neutral. Let's sit back, take a little wrist break. And come on back to all fours. We're going to get into cat and cow. Plant your hands, fingertips, first big set of knuckles, then your palms. Because crow pose is an arm balance, you want to really feel the floor with your hands. Feel that weight balanced. All right, so getting into cat and cow. First into cow, a nice deep breath in, retract and depress your shoulders. Let your hips tilt forward, scoop your chest up, look up, and then exhale, push the floor away. Protract and elevate your shoulders, tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin. Inhale, retract, depress, tilt, look up. Exhale, protract, elevate, tuck and round. Keep that going at your own pace, follow your own breathing. As you inhale into cow, really open up the front of your body, get as much stretch as you can. And as you go into cat, really round through that upper back. Get as round as you can. Feeling that stretch between your shoulder blades. Feel the muscles that are pushing the floor away. Couple more deep breaths in. And then whenever you're ready, just come on back into neutral spine. Alrighty. So hip mobility is also a part of crow pose. So we're gonna open up those hips with our hip circles. So shift your weight over to that left knee, pick up your right knee, find that 90-degree angle, and just start drawing your circles. And you only want to go as big on these circles as you can without your back getting involved. So keep your hips square and level. And keep those circles coming just from your hip joint. I got a little pop that keeps happening back there. And then circle them the other way. All right, bring that right knee back down. Now let's pick up that left knee, 90-degree angle. Let's do some circles. Same thing on this side. Don't get so big that you start twisting and moving through your spine. Keep it just in that hip joint. And then circle the other way. And bring the knee down. Open your knees out to the edges of your mat. Big toes touch. We sit back into wide knee child pose. Reach your arms forward. Press your chest down towards the floor. Take some nice deep breaths right here. Really sit back into those hips. plant those hands again, fingertips down. First big set of knuckles, then your palms. We're gonna get back into our down dog. So turn your toes under, take a nice deep breath in, exhale, push and pull back into down dog. All right, keeping your hips square, let's walk this dog. Yeah. Pulling one knee in, pressing the other heel down. Start with your hips square, focusing that stretch on calves and hamstrings. And then start letting your hips move up and down and side to side. Feeling that stretch, move around a little bit, but also just getting those joints moving. Toes, ankles, knees, and hips. Just get them moving. And then bend your knees evenly. Come up onto the balls of your feet. Get that little scoop going in your tailbone. And then start to press those knees back. Start to press your heels down, only going as far as you can without losing that feeling of a scoop. And now we're going to play around with our shoulders a little bit. We're going to go elevate and depress in down dog. Slightly different position. So you're sliding those shoulder blades up towards your ears and back towards your hips, but with your arms up over your head, so it should feel different. And then find a spot that's kind of in the middle and press your chest back towards your knees a little bit. Walk your feet up to your hands. Take a nice deep breath in, reach up. Woohoo! And release it down. Mountain pose. All right. Let's feel the floor with our feet. Find your weight balanced evenly, front to back, side to side. Feet can be together, hip distance, anywhere in between. It's all good. And just take some deep breaths, breathing in up the front of your body, lifting on quads, belly button in and up, sternum lifts up, crown of your head lifts up, and you exhale out, down the back of your body, shoulders back and down, tailbone points down towards the floor. Let's take these deep breaths, open things up a little more. Take a deep breath in and reach up, lifting your ribs away from your hips. Get tall, stay tall, and exhale right back into mountain. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Let's add on. Inhale up. Exhale. Hinge at your hips. Swan dive down into a forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Stomach to thighs, chest to knees. Tuck your cheeks in towards your shins. Reaching the crown of your head down towards the tops of your feet. Couple deep breaths right here. And then inhale, reaching the crown of your head away, long spine. And exhale, back down into that forward fold. Bend your knees, get that long flat back, inhale, and reverse swan dive. All the way up, reach up at the top, and exhale, mountain. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way back up. Reach up at the top. Exhale, mountain. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way back up. Reach up at the top. And exhale, mountain. Let's add on the vinyasa. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, half lift, big deep breath in. Hands come down right under your shoulders. Step it back into plank. Pushing the floor away, a little protraction between your shoulder blades, tucking your tailbone under, hips and ribs tucking together. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, elbows straight back, lower chest and chin down towards the floor in chaturanga. Inhale, scoop forward and up into up dog. Shoulders are back and down, and then turn your toes under and pull back into down dog. Inhale, plank. You can be on your knees for this if you like. Exhale, chaturanga, also on your knees. Inhale, scoop it up. If up dog is talking to your shoulders, do baby cobra. Exhale, down dog or child pose. So you got some options there. Easier on your wrists, elbows, shoulders, and lower back. So if any of that is talking to you, take one of those modifications. Inhale, plank, on your knees or on your toes. Exhale, chaturanga, knees or toes. Inhale, scoop it forward and up dog or baby cobra. Exhale, pull back, down dog or child pose. Let's do it one more time. Inhale into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or baby cobra. Exhale, down dog or child pose. Inhale, feet to hands, half lift, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way back up. Reverse swan dive, reach up at the top. And exhale, mountain pose. Let's flow through the whole thing now. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, half lift, long spine. Hands come down, step back, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or baby cobra. Exhale, down dog or child pose. Inhale, feet to hands, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way back up. Reach up at the top. And exhale, mountain pose. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, half lift. Hands down, step back, plank. And go through your vinyasa. Inhale, feet to hands, half lift, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way back up. Reach up at the top. Exhale, mountain. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, half lift. Hands down, step back, plank. Go through your vinyasa. I'll hold this down dog for a second. We're going to take it back into a plank. So take a nice deep breath in, come back into your plank pose. Slight protraction between your shoulder blades, hips and ribs are squeezing towards one another. And remember, you're going to always bring your knees down if you need to. Absolutely okay. Just like in down dog when we worked on elevate and depress, we are going to do protract and retract in this position. A little different. So retract, protract. These are also called scapular push-ups because you're not bending your elbows. You're just moving those shoulders. This can be really intense. So bring your knees down, take little breaks. So what you're gonna find, especially when you go into retract, is that your hips are really gonna wanna fall down. So you gotta crank down with your abs, hips and ribs, squeezing towards one another in the front of your body. Try a few more of those. Scapular push-ups. And you will absolutely feel this in your shoulders, I promise. Woo! Take some little breaks, shake it out. Let's do some wrist circles. Intense move, huh? Love that one. Now, if you didn't feel like you quite got it, that's okay. We'll do a couple more, and it's just like what we do on all fours. We've just added a whole lot of weight to it. So come back to all fours if you were unsure if you were getting it. Come back to all fours, do a few, just like we do at the beginning, and then maybe pull those knees back, get into a knee plank, and do a few more like that. And then maybe if you want to, try it up on your toes a couple times. And then if you need to come back to your knees, if you need to come back to all fours, do it to it. It's all about getting stronger and getting more mobile through those shoulders. But you gotta meet your body where it is. All right, let's take a for real wrist break. So you can build your way up into that full scapular push-up from all fours. And we do that little shoulder mobility dance at the beginning of a lot of our classes. So you're getting stronger every time you do that. We're gonna get back into that plank. And we're gonna do a couple of little toe pushes, and I'll show you what this is. You can watch if you're not 100% sure what I'm talking about. You can watch a few and then maybe try it. So first you're gonna find that nice plank, slight protraction through your shoulders, that nice tuck through your lower back, and then you're gonna push forward with your toes. So you can try this one. Obviously this one you can't do on your knees. So if you don't yet have a toe plank, that's okay. Just don't even worry about it. You can go back and focus on protract and retract, whether you're on your knees or you're on all fours or you're up on your toes, whatever is working for you. But if you don't have a toe plank, this one's not really gonna work for you. But what we're doing, you're gonna feel this in your wrists and in your shoulders. A little bit in your core, because it's plank. And then sit back, take a little break. Wrist circles, for sure. So it's going to be uncomfortable on your wrists because you're building strength. As long as it's not painful. A little discomfort is okay, but if you're feeling weird little twinges of pain in your wrists, then those toe pushes are not, you're not going to do those. And you can do some wrist stretches of a different kind. So if the toe pushes were not working, bring your palms together and just press down and up this way. So you're getting it's a more dynamic wrist stretch than the static ones that we've held on the floor before and will do today again. But this is just a way to get those wrists moving in a very strong way. Okay, woo. Let's get back into that plank. Take a nice deep breath in, and let's complete the vinyasa. Inhale, feet to hands, half lift, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way back up. Reach up at the top. And exhale, mountain pose. All right. So we're going to get ourselves down into a low squat. So feet are going to be a little wider than your hips. Toes can point out in whatever direction is typically working for you on these low squats. And then just sit on down into that low squat, get down into your hips. And if you feel like you can't sit back onto your heels, remember you can roll up your mat and give yourself a little platform for those heels. That helps if you got tight ankles. Give yourself a little platform to sit those heels on. Just gonna hang out in that low squat for a second. If you want to, you can bring your palms together, push your knees out with your elbows. And this one we want to think of being nice and tall, just for a second here. If you remember from yesterday, we did that extended low squat. So let yourself dip down and round down and reach your arms forward. And sometimes if you have trouble sitting into your heels, it's because you feel like all your weight is going backwards and you're going to fall down backwards. So reaching forward like this and putting some weight in front of you makes it a little easier to sit back onto your heels. This one's all about just getting into those hips. Alright, take a little break, have a seat, shake out those legs a little bit. And we're going to do just a little bit of our forest flow, which you might remember from last week or the week before. And if you don't worry, I'll let you know. I'll let you know how it goes. We're going to start in that low squat. I'm going to turn around because I can't cue this and mirror it and yada yada, all that fun stuff at the same time. So we're going to start out in our low squat, and then we're going to twist to the right, dropping your knees down. And you're going to drop so that your left knee is right against your right foot. Right foot is pressing into your left thigh. A little hurdler stretch. And then press yourself up, let your arms help out, let your upper body weight give you some momentum to help push you back up into your low squat. And then we twist to the left and do the same thing. So bottom of your left foot is against the inside of your right thigh. And then let your upper body help you out, a little momentum. Bring yourself back to your low squat, and then it's back over to the other side. So you're just going side to side through that low squat. Now, if your knees or your hips or your ankles are talking to you on that, and that is just not cool with your body, then you are going to sit, feet flat on the floor, knees up, and you're going to do windshield wipers. So give yourself some support behind you, and you're just going to drop one knee towards your foot and the other knee towards your foot. So this is a great option if when you get into that low squat and start to try to move around it, it's like too twingy. That's okay. You just do this. You're still moving through flexion in your hips, which is really what we're trying to get. So whichever way is working for you, we're just going to go side to side a few more times. Just moving through those hips, through those low squats. One of these days we're going to complete the forest flow too. All right, even yourself out. And then when you're evened out, come on back into that low squat. All right. Come on up. Shake it out. It's time. It's time to play around with our yoga party trick. So if you have never seen crow/crane, it is an arm balance, which means all of your weight is down on your hands and your arms. Now, everything that we have done so far is strengthening and giving you mobility that all ties into this posture. So here's what it looks like. You're balancing on your hands. I like to start in a bit of a low squat and then walk my feet up real close to my hands. I practically put my knees in my armpits and I'm bending my elbows so that the upper part of my arm is kind of resting on my shin. And then the really scary part is shifting all your weight into your hands and letting your toes come up off the floor. Now, if you are practicing on a hard surface, maybe you want a little pillow in front of you, just in case of a face plant. I get it. It's all good. So you can see there's this strength here in your shoulders. You're pushing the floor away. That was why we were doing those scapular push-ups. You're pushing the floor away with your shoulders. Your abs are really nice and tight. Think cat pose with your back. And of course your hips are deep in flexion so that you can get your knees in nice and close. And then it's all about your abs and balancing. Now, just play with it. Just give yourself a couple minutes to do silly things. And remember also that it's not about what you look like in this posture. Everybody's going to look a little different. We all have different levers. How long your femur is compared to how long your torso is, it's everybody's a little different. So we're all going to look a little different in this posture. So maybe your knees go out more on your elbows. And if that's the case, you're going to want to bend your elbows more so that you're giving yourself a little platform. That might feel better for you than jamming your knees up into your armpits. So anyway, take a few minutes and just play around with this posture. Do some fun things. Fall over. Barely get into it. It's all good. So if you're starting out, first find that balance on your hands. And then just see what happens. Just see where you go. Really hang on with your core. Think belly button to spine, hips and ribs, just squeezing towards one another. Almost as if you're using your abs to lift you up. It's so much more fun when everybody's in the same room, so we can hear each other giggle when we fall out of it, or we can hear the thump of somebody's foot sliding off and hitting the floor. It's good times. It's a little lonely in my garage right now. Keep playing around with it. Remember to take some little wrist breaks, little shake breaks. And if in the process of trying it out and trying to get into it, you discover, oh wow, my shoulders are not opening up enough. I feel like I don't have the strength to push the floor away the way I need to. Then maybe go back to some scapular push-ups and work those instead. Or if, maybe you're feeling like you can't really crank down in your abs, do a couple extreme exhales in all fours and then try again. Or maybe your hips are feeling a little tight today. Do a couple more forest flow twists. And then try again. Just keep trying. Playing around with it, even if you never get into it, what you're doing is you're telling your brain, hey, we're going to do something crazy. And every time you do that, and you get your brain thinking in a different orientation for your body, balancing on your hands instead of on your feet, you grow your brain a little bit. That's right. Trying to get into crow pose, whether or not you ever actually get into crow pose, is making you smarter. Ooh. fun with that. Let's get some wrist circles going. Remember, it's not about actually getting into the posture. It's about all the things that you do to get strong enough and mobile enough to one day get into the posture. All right, let's swing those legs around. We spent a lot of time here, kind of rounded, so we're going to spend a little time opening things up again. So we're going to get into crab pose, reaching your hands back behind you, locking out those elbows, feet flat on the floor. Start by retracting and depressing your shoulders, really lifting that sternum up. Nice deep breaths. And then release that down, shake it out a little bit. And let's do that again. Starting with half crab. And then if you want to, you can go up into full crab. Remember to think of lifting your sternum up, sternum to chin, as you lift your hips. And that'll help keep you from dropping down between your arms. This is just sort of a little extra because you're really going to get that nice chest and shoulder stretch even in half crab. So this is just icing on the cake. And then bring it back down and shake it out. Let's do it one more time, just really opening across the front of the body. And you can do half or full, either way. Shoulders retract and depress. Sternum is lifting up. All right. Ooh, it does feel nice. Let's flip things around a little bit, come into a kneeling position, and we're going to get our wrist stretches. Now, we did plenty of this way, so we're going to get the backs of our hands on the floor. So turn your palms up, fingers face away, lock out those arms, and just shift forward, just as far as you feel comfortable. Don't go so far that you have to bend your elbows, because as soon as you bend your elbows, you take away from that wrist stretch. So just go forward to feel the stretch and never to the point of pain. And sit back, let's get some circles. And then come forward, and here comes the fun one. Put your palms up and fingers face you, and then sit back. Remember, only go as far as you need to. For a lot of us, just getting those elbows to lock out in this position. So you might start out here, and your focus is going to be just to start locking out those elbows. That's perfectly fine. And then once you're there, if you need to, you can sit back and get a little deeper stretch. All right, and then sit back, let's get those circles. Ooh, yes. A little rest massage here. All right, have a seat. Let's get our spine twist. One last little massage before we go. Cross your right leg over your left. Left leg can stay out straight or curl around if you like that. Just make sure you got both butt cheeks on the floor. Right arm comes back behind you. Push the floor away, just like in crab pose. Lift your sternum. Headlock that right knee with your left elbow. Stay tall. And you can start to look over that right shoulder. If your left shoulder says it's okay, you can bring your elbow to the outside of your knee and push yourself a little deeper into that twist. cross, cross left over right. Right leg can be out straight or curl around, whatever you like. Both butt cheeks on the floor. Left arm back behind you, lifting through your sternum. Right arm headlocks that left knee. Start your twist. And if your right shoulder says it's okay, you can bring your elbow to the outside of your knee and twist a little deeper. Wherever you are, deep breaths right into the center of your body. And then unwind, uncross, and come on back into your seated position right where we started. All right, y'all, 3 weeks, how fun. Thank you so much for being here with me, whether you're here live or you're joining me a little later. This has really been great. If you have any comments or questions or requests for another party trick, now that you know how those party tricks work, just let me know. Leave something in the comments for me, and I'll plan another awesome week of classes. Take a deep breath in, reach up, palms touch, exhale, hands down to heart center. Thanks so much for being here. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend. I'll see you Monday morning. Namaste. Take care of yourselves, everybody.